Hello, this is Daniel Mart, and today I'm going to be doing another review. This time around, I'm going to be doing a review for The Creature from the Black Lagoon. So, yeah, and this movie stars Richard Carlson, Julie Adams, Richard Denning, Antonio Moreno, Nestor Pava, Whit Bissell, Bernie Gozier, Henry A. Escalante, Perry Lopez, Rod Redwing, Ben Chapman, and Rico Browning. So yeah, before I begin though, 10-second spoiler warning as usual for those who have yet to actually watch this movie and haven't already. Stop the video, go check it out and come back and watch the rest of this review. 10-second spoiler warning as usual, starting now. Okay, so 10 seconds are up. So for those who have yet to actually watch this movie and haven't already, please don't comment down below or be messaging me that never gave you fair warnings as usual. I did. So as usual, quick synopsis, likes and dislikes, and then rate. So yeah, The Creature from the Black Lagoon. Holy crap. Um, so basically it starts off with these group of people who are going into this expedition, or who are in this expedition and trying to find fossils to see if there's any new species that they don't know about that used to live around there, and they find this fossil of a hand of this unknown creature. The main scientist from that group brings it to a bunch of other scientists, to a bunch of his friends, more or less, and they say, this looks great. Let's go out and try to find what this is. And when they come back, they find out that the original expedition group has been killed off, and now they have to try to. I wouldn't say they have to try to survive. I mean, they do have to survive, but more or less now they're trying to find this monster that has killed the original expedition, because they do, because they are interesting. What the hell is this exactly? It seems interesting. And yeah, and then there's the Gil-Man, the creature from the Black Lagoon, more commonly known as Gil-Man, from what it seems. Basically, it starts picking off some of these expedition people, some of the people on this expedition one by one. It seems like he falls in love with the main female with the main female from the group. Well, there is only one female, Julie Adams, and her character. It seems like the Gil-Man fell in love with Julie Adams' character, which that was pretty interesting. And yeah, again, okay, so yeah, this is one of the universal classic monster movies. It's up there with the Wolfman, Dracula, and Frankenstein, Mummy, and the Invisible Man. It's considered one of those classic horror movies. It's considered one of the classic horror movies, one of the classic monster horror movies as well. So yeah, it is pretty interesting in my opinion. And overall, I do have to say it is a pretty enjoyable movie. I really did like it for the most part. The acting for the most part, I actually thought was pretty good. Good. And I don't know why, but before I watched this movie, I thought that the acting was gonna be bad for some reason, or just not as good as I thought it could be for some reason. I really don't know why. I would think that, but for some reason I did, and I was actually surprised that the acting was actually really good. The writing for the most part is also pretty good in my opinion. I do have to say that. The effects, well, it's not really effects, but the costume they used for the Gil-Man, that was pretty cool. And apparently they had two different costumes. Um, they had two different costumes. One that was really dark and one that was really light. And the really light one was meant for the underwater scenes, and the really dark one was meant for the land scenes. And you have Ben Chapman who was doing the land scenes, and then Rico Browning was doing the underwater scenes. So I thought that was pretty interesting in my opinion. Just wanted to share that, put that information out there. So yeah, it was pretty cool, pretty interesting in my opinion. The Gil-Man, he's actually a pretty likable character. I mean, yes, he is a monster and he is killing people, but at the same time, you kind of feel bad for him for what's going on, because in reality, it's not really his fault. I mean, it is his fault, but at the same time, it ain't. And what I mean by that is the fact that it's kind of one of those things, man versus nature. You have these group of people who kind of just inhabit his home, basically, who invaded where he lives, and now all of a sudden he has to deal with them, and he doesn't really know how to deal with them. So he's trying to he himself, the Gil-Man, is trying to survive the best way he can. He's trying to protect himself, and I thought that was actually a pretty interesting. And the fact that he managed to also fall in love with Julie Adams' character, I thought that was more that gave the Gil-Man, the character of the Gil-Man, or the creature from the Black Lagoon, I thought that gave him a bit more depth, in my opinion. Now, some of the other characters, the human characters, for the most part, they're pretty good. I mean, you really just focus on the Kay Lawrence, which is Julie Adams' character, and David Reed, which is Richard Carlson's character. I mean, some of the other characters here are kind of just there. I mean, you do get development out of them, but at the end, for the most part, they're all killed. I mean, really the only ones who aren't killed is like the captain, the captain's assistant, and one of the doctors, or scientist, doctor, scientist, whatever. So yeah, I mean, overall, pretty good movie in my opinion. Any flaws with the movie? I mean, I will say the first 15 minutes were a bit slow. First 15, 20 minutes were a bit slow. I will have to say that as a complaint. But overall, pretty good movie. Do definitely check it out if you haven't already. And yeah, that's basically it for this review. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, and 6 being decent, I'm actually going to give this movie an 8 out of 10. Pretty great movie in my opinion, really good movie in my opinion. And yeah, that's basically it for this review. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, and comic book reviews. Comment down below on your thoughts on the movie. Have you seen it? And if not, why not? And if you have, what are your thoughts on it? Comment all that down below. Let me know. Like the video, share on Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, or whatever you guys prefer. And that's basically it for now. This is Daniel Mart signing off.